Charlie Southgate Part 2.
Well, because it's a female, because of her impact statement, and this is the thing, this is what I asked Charlie earlier on in the interview about the impact statement. How did it affect you? Because for me, my impacts, I wouldn't be sat beside you now if I didn't do that robbery that day. Okay. And I wouldn't have done all the stuff that I've done whilst being out of prison since that impact statement. So everyone has their own journeys, don't they?
Yeah, definitely,
You know
definitely.
So
I think it's to do with growing up.
So do you, all the people you've done things to or whatever, have you ever met them again?
No,
have you never ever spoke to them? Nothing.
Did they ever try and give you restorative justice?
No. So my victims can't be traced.
Wow.
They've got no kind of contact with them at all.
Wow. Would you want to? Would you want to put a message to them?
I would love to say sorry.
Yeah.
You know, but I was a different person back then.
Young guy, innit?
Yeah, and it's not fair that I'm still paying the consequences. Don't get me wrong, what I've done was horrific. But I didn't kill no one.
Yeah.
So I don't think I should spend the rest of my life.
You potentially could have.
Oh yeah, I know, definitely. It's horrific what I've done. You know?
You might not even be sitting here now.
Obviously, I've only described them briefly.
Yeah.
But obviously, if you actually read the proper thing, you'd be like, "Fuck yeah, now."
Do you know what it is? It's young guys. When we're young, we all act on impulse. We're all very impulsive. You know what I mean? A lot of us, we don't sit down and actually analyse what's going on. A lot of us, when we've done a crime and all our offending behaviour was when we was obviously drunk. So, and that's not giving it an excuse. It's just with age comes maturity, doesn't it?
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
But the main point is, I regret it. It's made me who I am.
Yeah.
But I do regret it all. You know, it's wrong.
Where do you, if you never did these crimes, have you ever thought where you could potentially be, what you could be doing? Was there anything you wanted to do?
I'd probably have about 20 kids.
Was there anything you wanted to be when you was younger?
So I wanted to be in the army.
Okay.
That was I don't think I would have passed the test on that, you know what I mean?
Would you join it now though?
I don't think you can after 30 or something like that.
No, you can up to 32, yeah.
Oh, 32.
So I was hoping that there was, when we was in prison, I was hoping there was going to be a war and they'd stick us all on the front line.
Oh, really?
You know what? I used to always wait for a natural disaster, like there'd be an earthquake.
Yeah. Why prison? I used to think about it all the time. Like, why can't that wall just crack and come down? Like?
I remember a geezer saying this to me. Yeah, this is nowhere that I was in Swellside. Yeah, and
I'll be gone, mate. That wall fell down and I was next to it. I'll be.
We were having that conversation. He said, "Bruv, I'm sick of natural disasters waiting to happen so we can get out of it, bruv." Man, this shit.
You do hear about it in foreign countries.
You do. Like, why can't there be a war over here so we can get out? Like, that's how it was. Like, you hear a load of wars going off over in other countries and people are getting.
But do you reckon they would really, if there was a war when we were in prison, do you reckon they'd actually let us out there to fight?
I think they would. There would be a category of prison.
Especially back then, I would have been throwing grenades in schools. If they're the enemy, they're the enemy.
Delete that. Delete that. Edit that bit out.
No, but you can imagine it, like, coming from that environment and going straight into a war zone.
But that's what they'd want. They'd want a nut on at least.
They would.
Yeah, that's funny that.
God, you can imagine it. Well, you're going to give us all guns.
Yeah, innit?
You start shooting, it's a spud gun.
That brings me back as a kid, spud guns.
Yeah, but so there wasn't. So you wanted to be in the army, okay? That's what I was going to say because obviously.
Well, I originally wanted to be a stuntman.
Oh really?
That's what I originally wanted to do. Yeah.
Wow.
I like all that exciting adrenaline
stuff, innit?
Yeah, I'm up for all that bungee jumps and that.
So would you still do it now?
Nah, not now. I'm fucking well past it, mate. When I get up in the morning,
if the money was right, then I'd probably get involved, mate.
The money's good.
But that type of stuff you have to kind of do you have to go to stunt college and
you gotta be in it to win.
You may need to do stunt stuff. I'm pretty sure you have to have like a martial arts background, something like that.
So I was a black belt in Waterloo, karate.
So you would have passed.
So I come from I won the nationals representing my borough in the Crystal Palace Youth Games and things like that. I got loads of trophies at home, yeah. But then when I hit a certain age, when I hit like 13, I kind of saw the training as a chore. I wanted to be out with my mates, girls and things like that. You know what I mean?
That's when all the madness started.
Yeah, it's like when most kids leave football.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're on the path of to be a footballer.
Get released.
They hit a certain age. Yeah, a couple of releases and they want to be with the boys. They don't want to be going to football training.
You probably met a few in prison that had been footballers and.
Yeah, so I met a guy that was signed for Millwall at the time, and he got nicked for a murder that he'd committed. Well, I don't know whether he committed it, but he got convicted of a murder that apparently happened like 6 years ago.
Oh wow!
He was signed playing for Millwall at the time.
Yeah.
Right, and he got birded off for it.
Yeah, he got life, minimum 28 years.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And there's so many kids that go through the academy side of
But
things.
you realise how good it is when you play a bit of football at the weekend with him inside, like he's
everyone.
just running rings around everyone, scoring from the halfway line, you know what I mean? Like, fuck.
Yeah,
Mad.
no contest with him.
Like,
innit?
you don't want to play against him, you want him in your team. So you
Well,
can imagine
yeah,
it when you're
that's
picking the team, everyone's
Yeah,
always
it's
like,
What
picking
am
it, like, and whatever team he's on, they're going to win. So you
Yeah.
just, I mean, you just like, fuck, you know.
Yeah, like what I was gonna say is like with academies and that, where I feel they fail a lot of youngsters.
Because
as well.
there's no support once they release them.
Nah, there
There's
isn't.
been documentaries on all that
Yeah,
recently, hasn't
Palace have been doing
Yeah.
good with it because
there? But some kids just can't handle that.
no, they can't. You know what I find? What I'm finding with society nowadays is that a lot of kids struggle with rejection.
And emotional stuff.
So it's like they don't like rejection because you're not taught to win or lose anymore. You're taught, oh, it's just competing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
all of them think that it's just natural just to, oh, you're competing, you've still won, but you haven't. Winning and losing is important.
Yeah, yeah, of
And I
course.
think from a kid, it should always be instilled to them. Win and lose is part and parcel of life.
Yeah. You have to be able to accept to be able to
you
lose.
have to.
Like,
So when it comes to anything, as they get older, it's not just winning or losing a game or anything. It could be.
they can't handle losing, the kids now.
It
like,
could be a bird
at all.
saying she don't want to be with them no more. So he batters her.
Yeah.
Starts
kills
stalking
Yeah,
her,
it happens. Yeah,
does
mad
things,
shit
and you're
happens,
thinking, what is wrong?
Society is failing people,
It
you
is,
know what
and I really,
It's a mad world. Like even like all these
Scary
influences with social media, like the fact that girls now have to always look perfect.
Yeah.
But what's
It's a lot of
perfect?
pressure.
What's
Yeah,
perfect?
what is perfect?
They'll strive for perfection.
Yeah,
that
all
is
there, of
never
course,
there.
of course.
It's
Of
never
course. But this
there.
is why girls are getting their tits done,
Yeah.
getting their lips done, all that type of stuff,
Yeah.
getting their bums done and all
Yeah,
that now,
yeah, it's
because
madness.
society's portraying bad things.
See, that's the thing about social media. It's so fake, it's unreal, man. And this is what people don't understand.
Yeah, people only put up the good things.
Yeah.
Oh, look
Yeah.
how well I'm doing.
Yeah,
you know what I
Could you
mean?
imagine
Like-
taking a picture of me this morning when I fell out of bed at 4
Girls would never send you a picture.
Never.
It's lovely.
Never.
Do you know what I mean? I'm dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's the thing with social media, yeah, which makes me laugh. Yeah, social media, people, they think all kinds of things. They think, oh, this guy's balling, this guy's doing this, but it's not. It's like you said a minute ago. People just put up the stuff that they want the
want to
public
put
to
up.
see.
Yeah,
Do you know
of
what
course,
I
of
mean?
course.
When you've been battered or had a mad fight or something like that, your eyes are hanging out, your lips are busted. No, you don't see that side of nothing. Do you know what I mean?
no.
A lot
Of course.
of them struggle with. A lot of them influencers struggle with.
It's a
rejection.
materialistic world now as well.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to.
Yeah.
So I feel sorry for kids now, especially kids that haven't
Gotta be
got
balling,
their
yeah.
parents haven't got money and that.
Yeah.
They have to have the latest bag at school, the latest
true.
latest shoes.
My little fella's the same, man. He's 18 in July, and he's into all the big Jordans and all that.
But prison humbles
yeah.
you, innit? When you're sitting there wearing a £20 pair of trainers and a prison tracksuit, you
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah, you're all the same.
So I remember, so when I first went to jail, I had to have like all the best of the best. So I'd have like the Nesca. I wouldn't buy the cheap coffee. Because it was all like.
Yeah, it's a level of budgeting, isn't it?
Yeah. But
Budget
then,
sort in a way.
when you've got nothing, it
Yeah.
humbles you a bit.
Yeah, it does.
So-
But the thing is, like a £100 pair of trainers are no different to a fucking £4 pair of fucking Jordans, mate. They still do the same. They wear out the same. There's just a different label and different.
But kids won't wear them. You can't explain it. You can't go to a kid and take him to Primark
My
for buy
son's the same.
trainers.
My son is
Take-
exactly the same. He will not put on a Primark t-shirt. Try give him a Primark jumper, he'll tell you to off, mate.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
no, mate,
yeah,
I would-
yeah.
But you give him a nice.
What do you do?
Armani
How
one.
do you? You know what I mean? You can't.
Yeah.
Give them
Like,
nothing.
yeah,
Give them nothing, and then what?
Yeah, that's
you
it.
know
I
what I mean?
think it's all about not spoiling them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You've got. It is about that.
Don't give them the option.
Yeah, they
I
should
know
have
kids
that.
now as well that will only eat chicken and nuggets from McDonald's. They won't
Yeah.
eat nothing else.
Yeah, it's mad that,
Do you know
isn't
what I
it?
mean?
So do you feel when you went in to when you come out, like times changed massively?
Oh, massively,
Yeah.
massively. Yeah, everything's. It is crazy, but yeah, a hell of a lot of things have changed.
So you can imagine, like, you know, like when we look at like our nans and everything when we were growing up, and they'd be like, "Oh, what's this? Like a phone?" And
Yeah.
it would be like they would think that technology was mad.
Yeah.
But you're kind of in the same thing. You've been
Yeah,
locked
yeah.
away, and all of a sudden, iPods had come and gone. iPhones were out.
Look,
video
so iPhones come out in about 2008. I remember, so I was in a police car doing TICs, and I heard the coppers talking about iPhone.
Yeah.
It's the first time I heard of it.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? It took me years to actually properly see one. Obviously,
Yeah.
you see them inside and that, but I never actually went on.
Never held one,
I didn't even
then,
know
so-
about like. So when someone gave me one to make a call, I didn't even know how to fucking make a call on it. Technology's crazy now.
Yeah.
So
Even
going back
touch
to
screens. I went into a McDonald's when I first got out, and I like to ask these girls.
I don't use them to this day, mate. I go to the counter, old school.
Just ask these girls, I said, can you help me with this? They're like,
What do you want?
like how do you not know how to use this? I said, I've been in touring the world in Thailand. I've been travelling.
I've been on a travel ban.
Oh wow.
Travelling, you know what I mean? So I was embarrassed about it. It's not something you just immediately say to someone.
Yes, of course, you don't want to admit that you're struggling. No,
You don't, especially you don't want them to be impressed by that, because that's not the type of girls you want to be meeting.
Nah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that's just trouble. The girl's impressed by your reputation.
Going back to Joe, yeah, because this is one thing I'm like, my whole pattern on this stuff, yeah, is to educate people in it, yeah, especially like within the prison system, because I don't want people thinking that prison is cool, innit? We've both
it's not
fucking
cool.
ridiculous.
It's a waste
life,
of fucking time.
But I can go off my own experience. Did you lose anybody in jail?
Yes.
And how
Like
is that?
friends. So a mate of mine killed himself 2 weeks before I got out,
No.
Wow.
and I just wish I could have spoke to him.
Yeah.
Because people think it's hard out there.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder, but that's the easy way out in prison. Just go and do that.
Yeah.
It's a very selfish act.
So you see,
I've not got one scar on my
Same.
wrist or anything. Do you know what I mean? Because
did you ever lose any family members?
yes,
Was you allowed to go to their funerals
No.
and stuff?
You weren't,
How did
no?
that make you feel, bro? I mean, what was the
especially like
circumstances around it?
I lost both my nans whilst I was in
jail.
prison. Do you know what I mean? And I kind of never forgive myself for that.
Yeah.
You know.
And they didn't let you go to the funeral? or
No,
nothing?
no, because there wasn't
Staff.
ever like ever had kind of custody over me.
Oh yeah.
There's only like immediate family and that.
Yeah, because I had the same thing, Charlie. Like when I was in jail, my granddad died in there, and I was about to get released 2 weeks later, yeah, or a month later. My executive release papers were going through, yeah, and they come up with a story and they said, yeah, you're an escape risk. Do you know what I mean? And so I know they do, and a lot of guys a lot of people lose family whilst in jail. And
Yeah, I was writing to a girl that I've known for years, and she lost her mum while she was serving time.
Wow.
I think it was on Christmas Day or Boxing Day.
Fucking hell, man.
I mean, that would have killed me. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I couldn't do. I couldn't let something happen to my mum or dad whilst I was still in there, because I would have just gone on a mad one.
And that's the thing, and this is another thing. You know, like obviously you've got these, say for instance you're in jail, because what I want the public to understand is what it's like in prison. Yeah, this is our first podcast we're going to deal with a guy that's done sort of time like yourself. Yeah, I want the public to understand. Yeah, what it's actually generally like. Like say for instance, what's the mind like when you're being
affected
told
me
you're
so
locked up
much,
for
like,
3 days, you're not getting exercise, because
Yeah, it's frustrating. Very
what's
frustrating.
it like for your brain?
So all these things should never happen whilst you're inside. Do you know what I mean? You're entitled to an hour exercise a day and things like that. You know what I mean? So when they disappoint you like that, you feel like kicking off straight away, and it just gets you down. You just shit.
So for me, when I wanted to smash the gas, and I did many times, mate.
Yeah, well, I stopped doing that when they started taking the money off.
Yeah,
us.
because that's what they do now, isn't it? They make you pay for everything.
Yeah. They never
That's
used
how it
to.
happens, yeah.
They never used to. You
Yeah.
could smash 5 cells up and they couldn't do nothing.
Done that loads of times.
Now they take it out of your money every week.
See what it is here. What I'm trying to get across here is with the younger kids today, yeah, they all think this gang lifestyle is great.
Shit.
They're all selling shit.
It's shit. You're gonna
They're
see
all
your
doing
ops
stuff,
and
yeah. And it's all about postcodes and this and that and everything. Now, I never grew up in that period, yeah. Well, I did, but I was just never involved in it. My whole thought pattern is to try and encourage kids to not be that way.
Yeah, it's not
get
about being
involved in
that way.
knife crime. You know all about knife crime.
It's
You've got life for
yeah,
it.
if you're involved in all that, you're only leading down like a 2-street path. You're either going to get life sentence or you're going to end up dead yourself. Like, 'cause every kid knows someone has been killed now. That wasn't really the norm back when I was growing up.
It wasn't. It was a bottle or something. Like the worst you get is bottled.
Yeah. But yeah, most of the time it was straighteners. Now kids don't want to have a straightener.
If they do have a straightener, they come back again because they lost.
Yeah, if they lose, then
and that goes back to saying about the losing and the winning.
Yeah, it does.
It starts getting a tit for tat thing. Do you know what I mean? And then their mates start getting involved. And that's how gangs are formed and having trouble over stupid stuff.
So,
What
was it like for you? So, how many roofs have you been on?
I've been on a few. I've been on.
what do you mean roofs?
Right,
Explain it.
Right, so if officers lie to me or do silly things, I couldn't really handle that. So what, you want to go home at 6? Yeah, you're not going home at 6. Do you know what I mean? I'm keeping you here till 3 in the morning, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, I get annoyed. So one of the last prisons I was in, I was there for 9 months, so it was all up in Nottingham. I wasn't getting any visits. So I tried to go down the proper route, applying, sending in medical notes from my parents and that.
How long did that take?
Well, they just ignored it. They were saying, oh, we're on gold alert, which means no transfers down south. And
Explain like the procedure going through what you did, as in...
What, to get out of there in the end?
Yeah, no, so the procedure of you, like before, what transpired first to make you go, I've had a fuck enough of this, I'm going on a roof. Like,
Right, so in the last prison, as I said, I wasn't getting any visits.
Yeah.
I had a young son. My mother was saying he can't travel that far. So I applied properly, wrote to the governors, trying to get a move down south. At the end of the day, they're supposed to maintain family ties.
That's right, yeah.
You know, but they wasn't adhering to that. So I got into the chapel, got into the confessions box, a big glass window, smashed that out and got on the chapel roof. And I was gone within a week. So yeah, again, they're rewarding bad behaviour.
Did you get sent back south then?
Yeah.
So what happens when you go on the roof? What actually happens? What is that?
They
go on the roof for the prisons, yeah?
Yeah, they panic. They'll get like a negotiator down and that.
And then you can just sit up there for hours.
Yeah. But obviously they said to me, all right. I said, well, I'm not going back on the wing. Yeah. So they put me in the segregation unit, and then obviously eventually transferred me.
Okay, so you got.
Sorry, brother. You see that? So see the period of time in the block. So from getting.
Well, they can only keep you down there for 42 days now before they have to transfer you. Yeah.
Wow, that's a.
Because you used to be able to just sit down there for months.
Well, yeah. When I was in Swellside, I met one guy in there. He'd been in the block for like 2 years.
Oh my God!
Yeah, which isn't good for anyone's mental health.
Terrible.
You can't just keep someone segregated like that.
Yeah.
With like no support or nothing. You know what I mean? And then expect them to get out and be a.
You got to be. To leave someone like that, they've got to be a fucked up.
Yeah, not even though. The thing is, it's like within the prison system, like if you're rebellious and you don't conform to their regime, they will punish you for it. And a lot of the time is you'll lose all your things like your. So what we always want in jail is our canteen, our phone calls, and our exercise. Do you know what I mean?
Just the basics you're entitled to. Yeah.
And when you don't get them things, you rebel.
Of course you do.
Like there's a certain amount of stress I will take. And then I'll go mad. And when
it's like a pressure cooker, isn't it? Yeah. Everything will build up all of a sudden, and then you'll just explode.
Yeah, but do you not think that how they build the justice system is to say, okay, well, that is your punishment. If you decided to be that person outside, then why do you deserve that human rights to do?
The punishment is being in prison. Yeah. You know, like they should then not further punish you.
Yeah.
Because it gets people into debt. So, like, say you get like a punishment of inside of loss of canteen, and you smoke, you're not going to not go without vapes. It just.
Yeah,
people end up selling all their stuff and getting into debt because they've punished you again. You know what I mean? And then you're going to get a further punishment for getting in that situation.
See, this is the thing as well. Like in jail, like you only get canteen. So on your canteen, you get your phone cards. Now, if you have a fight, for instance, because someone's done something to you, you have to fight, innit? Like if someone tries to hurt you in jail, you have to fight them. Otherwise, you're going to be a victim. So you have to defend yourself. Now that person, because you've defended yourself because of that other person's mental health, you're now on punishment, so you don't have a phone, so therefore you ain't got canteen, you can't come out your cell and make your phone call, so what does that leave you? And that means I've got to go and now buy my own phone. Do you know what I mean? What's the prices of phones nowadays, Charlie?
Ridiculous, man, like ridiculous. So, yeah, they can be anywhere from like £250 or up to £2,000.
Yeah.
Depends, especially if you want a smartphone or something like that, you know what I mean? People can charge what they want. If you need one, you'll pay the price. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, when I was in jail, I always had a mobile phone. Sometimes I had a few of them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's the truth, because I'm like, I never had the money anyway to keep pumping into the phone box, yeah, and I refused to pay the system when I was in jail, so I always had mobile phones. Do you know what I mean?
The phones ain't cheap, are they?
They're fucking
like
expensive.
The actual prison phone to use it.
This is what I mean by the punishment scale is like for everybody that commits crime and does violent acts, yes, we should be punished for that, yeah, to a certain degree. You've got to look at the mitigating circumstances for the reasons why the people have acted like the way they have. But then if you look at it whilst they're in jail, the price of food for the inmates is extortion. Yeah, if you go and look at a packet of crisps outside, 70, 80 a pound. Go in jail, what's a big packet
Well,
of
you can take like the mackerels. Mackerels are now £2.20 a can of mackerel, but you go into Sainsbury's or Tesco, they're a pound.
They're a pound, and this is what frustrates me. And this is what I'm trying to make clear to the public as well. Like, the prison system is a business.
It is a business.
Yeah,
it is a business.
It is a bloody business.
If it was costing them that much money, like they reckon it is, then things would be put in place and stop that. To try and stop all that.
Well, what they do is they get all these other companies, yeah, and they get the contracts, like DHL, for instance. Now DHL can price the stuff at what they want, as long as it's within a reasonable price for the inmate. Yeah. Now, if you've got 100,000 inmates, and all of them are buying 2 tins of tuna a week, yeah? How much money are they making just from the tuna?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
What did you say they were? £2 or something?
Right.
Then
You've got,
the tuna is like £1.89.
Now then you've got, on top of that, that's just one item. Yeah, now we have to pay for them items because the food in jail is terrible. The portions are small. Yeah, the food ain't nice, yeah? So
you end up becoming an expert in cooking in your kettle.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right, mate. You get all the little seasons and you cook, but it's what I can't stand about it is that it's yeah, fair enough, it's a punishment, but they rinse you for your money, yeah, and they really do. The phone calls are absolutely insane, like the price of the phone call. So if you're phoning a landline, it goes down as fast as you would be phoning a mobile.
Wow.
And the mobile goes down even quicker.
Even quicker, yeah. You literally just see the pennies just coming off it, like.
You know what I mean? And you can only put a pound on at a time. But I can only go from my own experiences. But they rinse you on all directions, you know what I mean? And you've got the workshops. This is why I said earlier on, it's like a slave shop, yeah? It's like a factory of slaves, mate, because you've got 15, 20 different guys working in the cutting shop where you're cutting up materials. They're giving each person, say, £12 a week. A normal man's wages would be £100, £200 a day.
Yeah. Especially like DHL and that. You work hard in DHL as well. They don't let you have like breaks and that. You're constantly picking orders because you've got to supply all the.
Now, if you don't want to be a part of that, don't commit crime. Do you know what I mean? And I know it's difficult to say.
You could get caught up in something, yeah, that you haven't gone out to commit something.
You
can get caught up in something. Next minute, you know, you got a prison sentence, but you're getting treated like every one of them other people who have done bad crimes.
Yeah.
And you probably feel like you've been hard done by as well. So.
Well, yeah, because we do, and when we get done for crimes, we do feel bad done by. You know, when I got my sentence, I actually felt relief. You know what I mean? Yeah, but you know, well, you're right in saying that. You know what I mean? I was pissed I was caught, but I was also glad it was over.
Yeah, of course.
Because you know, being on the run. Have you ever been on the run?
Yeah. It's horrible looking over your shoulder.
It's horrible, isn't it? Like for your mental health as well. If you look at like,
makes you paranoid.
Yeah, man, and it affects you in a real negative way. Like I'm not making an excuse for criminals and all that because I was a criminal and a very active one at my time, but it affects you later on. Like all this stuff that we're doing as young people, we go to jail, we waste all our life in jail. Like I spent 13 years in jail, but just from this room,
it's sad.
I've got 28 years worth of prison sentences in there.
Yeah, it's sad.
And that's just why there's 4 of us in here. Only 2 of us. That's nearly a fucking whole life there wasted from a couple of things that we've done. That is not obviously right. We've paid the punishment.
Yeah, exactly.
How much life have we lost for this?
And like mentally, you don't age inside.
Come on, quite immature, innit?
Yeah. I still am a little bit of a big kid, but I'm good with my son and that because I am a big kid. You know what I mean? But
it's better. I like that though. I like the fact that I'm still quite immature, bro. Because you know it is. Yeah, I can have a laugh with everyone.
Yeah. You can't take things too serious.
The thing is though, I haven't been in prison. I'm still immature when it comes to it. I love messing around with kids. Like, do you know what I mean? Like when I went to my mate's daughter's birthday party the other day, it was at a gymnastics place. We were doing bloody flips and cartwheels and, do you know what I mean? Just stupid things, just messing around. Cool. I think we will never age like that. We do mature. Like you said, when you've got kids, I think when you have a kid, your mindset changes.
Yeah, because you have to, especially if you're in the kid's life. You know?
It's
a mad thing.
You say that because as soon as I had the kid, I became a bank robber.
Really, because you felt you had to provide. What was that? What it was for?
That's exactly.
Because when you went to prison, when you came out, or you was in a foster care system.
Yeah, I was in care when I was 6. I went into care, and then I came out of care when I was 16. And
what was provided for you though to get you ready for that big wide world.
Nothing. That's why I went into prison, because I come out of care, couldn't read and write, and just start what was natural.
This is why I believe they set you up to fail. Once you're in that system,
that's why I say it's a business.
The amount of people that I've met like you that have gone through that experience, and then it just leads on to. Because what I think once you're in that system, you're stuck.
It's hard to get out of it, innit? You know, obviously, once you're built in a certain way, you just behave in a certain manner, innit? You know what I mean? And if you've grown up knowing aggression and violence will get you what you want, you become naturally violent.
Yeah, you learn that behaviour.
Learn it. And it's like what you said a minute ago within the prison system. If you're good, you get ignored. Punch up a screw, put him in a fucking... And you go, okay, we're listening now, Mr. Roberts, what do you want? I want to move, mate. I want to go back London. Don't make me rip off more roofs. Do you know what I mean? It's the same. It's not saying it's not a good thing.
No.
But it's what happens.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm getting.
And yeah, it's mad when you look back at things. It just makes you think, innit?
Because that's what I look when you look at like. So you've come from a background with like a good family home. There's no broken family home. You've done a couple of things that obviously you regret now. As you came from. A really bad
sexual
childhood.
abuse, care homes, all of that stuff.
And
but we've both ended up in the same
place.
In the same place.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder why, innit?
Yeah, no, it does. It
goes back to thinking skills, doesn't it?
Wrong choices.
ETS, Do you know what I mean? Which I think made me a better criminal. I'm not gonna lie. Enhanced thinking skills. They gave me that in 2000.
Weighs up the pros and cons of that.
Which is not good, and I'm not promoting crime because that's one thing I don't do. I am definitely not a person that glorifies crime.
Nah, you're an advocate against it because I know how we first met was through paedophile hunting.
Yeah.
So we were on the sting route together.
Yeah, man.
And naturally we just got along, didn't we?
Yeah.
It was really good. We kind of had this same kind of like mentality when it came to it. Like we don't agree with them.
Yeah.
We want to batter them up.
Yeah, of course.
You want to batter them and do whatever, but the same we didn't. We stayed professional. It's hard.
You have to if you're doing that.
Because otherwise you lose. If I end up whacking up you because you've not someone, and then that case is gone already.
Yeah, it's finished.
It's done.
Yeah.
And it's hard, so you
can't take the law into your own hands.
But at 21, I would have just battered them.
Yeah, same.
That would have been your mentality. That would have been your mentality. Yeah. But as you get older, you start to realise you got to look at the bigger picture and you've got to kind of work it all out.
Yeah, of course.
That's how we first met, and we went to one in Raynham.
Yeah.
Raynham. Yeah. And this lad, he was a big guy, 29. He just come back from the gym as well.
Yeah.
So like you don't get like you might see him as old little paedophile.
Yeah, that's like a stereotype, isn't it? Like an old geezer, a fisherman.
They're all different.
Of course. There was another one, the geezer who came over from Morocco or something.
The one who was hunting all around London, innit?
I mean, he just as soon as he came straight over here into the country, he just started like
abusing our fucking kids, mate.
Just like loads of mad things. But yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So me and him, that's how we first met. And yeah, that was.
Wish we would have met better circumstances.
Do you imagine that? We met on A-Wing and stuff.
I know.
But you've got a story to tell. You can sit back, you can look at it, you analyse your life now, and you can go, okay, we can make better choices.
Yeah,
so you know going forward, alcohol was probably your biggest contributor to a lot of your crimes.
Definitely.
So you probably still drink now, but you probably still
but I know my limit now. Do you know what I mean? I know I can have a couple and be alright.
Yeah.
I don't want to ever go back to not being able to.
So if somebody starts on you after a few drinks or whatever, you're in a pub, we're all sitting here.
But these days I'll be like, listen, mate, I don't want no trouble.
It's hard, isn't it, Charlie?
It's one of the hardest things. But when you learn how to do that, I learned that through officers being rude to me and being able to walk away.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't going to get a knockback because of some divvy officer.
Explain what a knockback is, Charlie.
A knockback is going for a parole hearing and getting refused it and having to spend more time in prison.
And that would be because a prison officer's done something that's...
provoking you,
as well.
Do you reckon a lot of prison officers do that? Do they provoke you on purpose?
They do. Yeah, they provoke you on purpose. Yeah.
Well, think of it
so they don't want you to go. You know what I mean? Yeah. Especially when they know you're about to get out and that, they'll purposely do stuff to annoy you.
So imagine this, yeah. You've had an argument with your missus, yeah. You come in, all of us are shit cunts. Sorry about my language here, but that's what we're classed as, yeah. When we're in jail, below human, yeah. Hence they come in and they do stuff to antagonise us. Now bear in mind, I've not been out myself for 2 days. I've not had a phone call. I've got no canteen because I'm on losses for 6 weeks, yeah. And then I've got some screw coming in the morning and being rude to me. What do you think's going to happen to him?
So I've seen officers come in. I've seen officers come in the morning, and I'm out cleaning, and they're like, "Right, are we going to wrap up today?" That's
so imagine this, yeah. So think of it like this, though, yeah. Now that screws and all of that, I've chinned him. What's going to happen to him? He's going to go on sick pay for 6 weeks because he's got face out here, yeah. What's going to happen to us, Charlie?
We're going to be sitting in the block thinking, "Fucking hell."
So what's this prison officer just benefited from? He's got a fat lip and now on leave, paid leave for 6 weeks. Do you know what I'm saying? All because
they know what they're doing.
But do you not think that builds a mentality within you to learn?
Yeah, it makes you. Well, this is it. This is why Charlie said you have to walk away, because if you don't, you're gonna get.
And that's the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
And that's like leave a situation.
But then that goes back to like, do you think that the prison systems are outdated? Do you?
Definitely, some sort of reform needs to happen. You know, I think there should be more officers like whistleblowers actually exposing what's going on.
Yeah. So there's a guy that I met.
It's the only way it's going to change.
And he's a good friend of mine, John, actually, and I've got a lot of respect for him because he actually was a whistleblower for the Metropolitan Police, and even he said it in detail. If you watch his podcast, you'll see quite a lot of stuff about John. The system is fucked, mate. With a capital F, man, and it goes from the bottom all the way to the top.
Yeah.
Now, John worked in, he was working for Scotland Yard for like 30 odd years. He was in the system deep. He was a CID and all that, and he had his whole life completely destroyed. Yeah, not destroyed, but he lost a lot of stuff. Yeah, all because he told the truth about the system. Do you know what I mean? So in some cases, there's good and bad in all walks of life. You've got the prison system, the police system, the healthcare system.
I do think it is system. That, but like when you were saying like you had to learn to walk away because of these screws. I know.
I didn't get that from any course.
Yeah. No, but it wasn't a course. So the course side of things,
they don't work. They don't work. The courses, the reoffending rates after people have done courses prove that they don't work.
There's an actual act, a rehabilitation act of.
But what it is, the prison will get extra funding for doing them courses there. So bums on seats.
Yeah, of course it is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course it is. So if you were saying that, what kind of courses, like you said earlier, you think that courses were more trades or stuff they should teach you? What courses should they be teaching then? If you were to look at it,
get like a proper qualification tradesman license. You know, like where if you're going to learn plumbing, they teach you to the degree where you can actually go out and get a proper plumbing job
properly. Yeah.
Do you not? I can understand it from a funding point of view, but then do you not think that if you as a prisoner was getting that, that's kind of like a luxury? Somebody like me would have to pay 2-3 grand.
No, definitely not a luxury.
If they don't want us to reoffend, then give us skills, that we can take outside and actually get us. Because if you do a course in prison, say you've done like the railway tracks is a good course you could do in prison. You can get out and get a job straight away.
And they're good money then as well.
Who is then going to want to go and reoffend if you're only good money?
Yeah,
it depends on what your reoffending is, because not all of it's financially based.
Well, there's a category of prisoners, isn't it? So you've got sex offenders, you've got violent offenders. Now, violent offenders come in a whole lot of categories. So you've got murder, fight, robbery. Do you know what I mean?
Robbery.
Even sexual crime kind of by violence. But everybody's crimes are for different things. Now, my crime, definitely me, anyone who's in a financial crime for fraud, robberies, it's even violence, someone's not being paid, so they got it. That's why they're being violent, you know what I mean? It's if someone fixed the category of financial. Now, everyone commits crime for a reason. Sex offenders do it because they're nonsense, in it, yeah? I committed robberies because I had no money and wanted money. Charlie committed a violent crime because he felt in fear that he was going to get hurt. Do you know what I'm saying?
So you feel that
the category's got to fit the inmate, you know what I mean? And it's that way there. If you, like Charlie said, if you gave me a bricklaying qualification and told me how to bricklay when I was 16 and come out of Feltham, I would never have done robberies because I would have been making £1 a week, £200 a day, 5 days a week, it's £1,000 or whatever, yeah? I would have had enough money for me to live my life.
But then if somebody then turns around and says, oh, but Anna, I could get you 100 grand in one hit.
Well, that comes down to personal choices and greed. Do you know what I mean? So for me, I get offered work now. To this very day, I get offered work by my friends, but I don't commit crime because it's not about that. I don't want to do that. I'm not a hypocrite for starters, And secondly, it's like I don't want to hurt no one. And if you're doing a robbery, mate, you're hurting people. You might not be physically hurting them, but you're mentally
they're in
hurting
the
them.
scarring them.
Do you know what I mean?
But going back to what you said though, so I believe there should be like a lesson in school, which kind of like a PSE lesson or something like that basically teaches you about crime and that before kids actually
100%.
start doing crimes.
Great idea.
Like, teach them the actual, like, do you know what I mean? I should be on the national curriculum.
Do you know what? Yeah,
there's no point trying to teach a kid when they're in prison.
No, exactly.
Teach them at school.
Yeah.
About consequential thinking.
That's right.
You know?
But the consequences and everything all still come back down to winning and losing as well. So you've got to build a mentality within people where they understand rejection and things and knockbacks and winning things, but you could get athletes who have been at the top winning everything, then all of a sudden others come up and then they drop down the pile. They drop into like a mental state where they can't, because they've always been the best.
Yeah, they've always been a winner.
So they've never learned to win or lose.
To handle loss. Yeah.
So I always still think it goes back down to that. The national curriculum side of things is if you was in a school. So you're saying that you would want a class lesson on crime?
Not on crime, but just teaching them what happens when you do go down that road. Then it's left up to them.
So who teaches that? Where does that come up from?
I believe ex-criminals should teach those type of things.
People like Charlie, people like myself, people that have been through the situation, people that understand why they committed their
But I believe the reason why they don't do that is because they need people to reoffend.
Of course, it's
a business.
It's a slave, of course. It's slave
business.
labor.
It's the same with the SS, mate. I'm not going to say their full name because I'll get in trouble, but the SS are no different.
Yeah.
They target families. They take the kids off of them real young. They've done that to me. They abuse them whilst they're in care. They've done this to me, and then they let them out of care when they're 16. Can't read them right. What am I going to do? I'm going to commit crime. I'm going to take drugs. I'm going to be in the mental health facilities. It pays for everything. Do you know what I mean? So it's just not getting caught up in that. So if you can give the younger people the skill set they need so they don't get caught up in it, then you've got a winning chance, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose you have.
But I think the streets are so bad right now with all the gang stuff.
Yeah, it's a hard one to touch on. It's one of them ones that it always, like you said, it goes down to the individuals as well. But if in that class of 30,
obviously the support home and things like that
exactly,
as well,
and a lot of kids they come from broken homes. How many people do you know growing up in school, their mum and dads were together, or their mum and dads had broken up? So just from that alone, like just parents being separated. The mum not talking to the dad or the dad not talking to the mum, it's automatic. It builds that trauma within a kid, and you know what I mean.
Especially if they're witnessing
domestic violence,
even like even what do they call it, emotional abuse.
Well, so abuse comes under a whole lot of categories. You've got emotional, you've got physical, you've got financial, like your actual battering people, and there's a whole load of categories to abuse. It's not just one set that just comes in whole different fashions, but it all affects people differently, you know.
Definitely, yeah, it does. But so going back to obviously about doing so long in prison, and that, like, it's affected me mentally. With I'm not up to date with relationships, technology,
behind many
years. I can't even send an email because I don't know how to.
Really,
and the fact that I've never been in like a long-term relationship is very sad.
Do you reckon? So you reckon physically, mentally, prisons affected you in a bad way then?
Yeah, definitely. It hasn't done me any good.
Yeah.
Because it's not designed to do that.
Yeah.
Well, it's designed for a punishment and to keep the public safe from us, isn't it? That's what it's
but the problem you got is that's a vicious cycle, because if he feels that he's kind of in a cycle and it hasn't been helped, then you're going to feel like if you're lost here on the outside world, then you just want to end up back in, aren't you?
Yeah, but obviously
you know what I mean?
I'm determined not to go back. You know, I've had to kind of educate myself so I don't go back. You know, like,
but you said that you education wise and like as a kid growing up, you had all that support. You've still got that support with your mum.
Yeah, and I'm very, very thankful and grateful for that, you know. And that didn't stop me. But obviously now, if I think about my mum before I do anything stupid, it'll always deter me from doing something like that, you know.
So if you're a kid on the other side, then you end up back in, aren't you?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
So
that's why I honestly believe you're set up to fail. Once you kind of enter any kind of system like that, they reward you for bad behaviour. You learn that behaviour, you get out and think you can behave like that again. You're not straight back in.
Yeah, it's a bit like sad, isn't it? Really, when you think.
Do you know what it is?
But people don't understand that this is actually what's happening.
Yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? Unfortunately, it's. Do you know the good thing about us now? Because we've got social media, we've got the things like YouTube, we've got all these different platforms. You're getting education on your mobile phone. You can watch it at home, and you're getting real life stories from real guys that have been through mad shit in their life and managed to like get out of it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, thankfully, Charlie's come out of jail now, and he's doing good in his life, and he's doing things that are benefiting him. But it's taken him all these years of going through a lot of fucking pain, man. I don't forget that. Yeah, prison, is it painful, bro?
Yeah, very painful.
Do you know what I mean?
Very painful.
And that's what you sort of don't understand. Like, the public don't get it. Like, you do all these bad things, yeah. Like, you have to be lucky every single time, innit? The police have to be lucky once and you're gone. Gone. And whilst you're gone, you're losing. You're not winning. You know what I mean? And that's the whole mindset behind all of these channels that we do and stuff like that, is to educate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If there was a kid, if you was to go into a college tomorrow, because I can get you into some colleges where you can do talking and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
I
just want to tell my story, and then kids can take what they want from it.
And that's the thing, because obviously you went to jail for knife crime. A lot of these kids are doing knife crime.
It's a massive thing right now.
Yeah,
Like.
the first thing I'd say to him is, don't carry knives for protection.
Yeah.
You know, because that's the main thing. You ask a kid why are you carrying a knife? Oh, it's for protection.
Yeah.
But that leads to other things. You'll get into a situation with someone, and you'll end up using it.
It's all through fear, innit?
Yeah, and it's not worth it. It's not
fear and ego.
Talk yourself out of the situation.
Yeah.
You know, if you've got trouble with other gangs and that, you have to tell the police.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be open and honest. You're not grassing anyone up. You're protecting yourself.
Just don't give names.
Yeah. You don't have to give names. You know, but something needs to be done. Something definitely needs to be done.
So let's go back, right? The night when you had a knife on you, you said you were drunk. You fell into the bikes. I think it was that story.
Yeah.
From the start of that night, build a little picture. What actually happened? How was you drunk? What was you doing?
Right,
How
so
old was you? And
that day I got a phone call. No, the night before I had a phone call from Fulton Prison telling me my mate had rung me and he said, I'm in court tomorrow at Blackfriars. I should get bail. So I went down to Blackfriars. He got bail. Met him. Just started drinking from there. This was about 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And the actual thing happened at about 10 o'clock.
so did you? So before you were drinking, did you take that knife with you?
Yeah, I always, because obviously the murders that had happened around me, I even when I used to go to the shop, I'd have a knife. Yeah. All times.
So you started drinking at 6.
Yes, since this happened about 10 o'clock, so we probably started drinking about 4.
How old was you as well?
I was 20.
20, okay.
So I wasn't a very experienced drinker, so a few pints you'd be
Couple
lagging.
of pints of piss,
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
falling around again.
Not a seasoned pro then.
Yeah, exactly. So you'd just be absolutely mangled. So my brother rang me, said we're in a different pub. So we was going to meet my brother. I fell into the bikes. The worst advice was my mate saying, run. Why? I shouldn't have run. I should have been like, I haven't done nothing. Like,
But when you're pissed,
and there's 20 geezers coming flying out of a restaurant.
Yeah.
But and then I was running, I was just like, why am I running? I've got a blade on me.
Yeah.
And that was the worst thing to do.
That's when reality kicks in, though. That's when the ego kicks in, and it's like, why am I running, bro? You're mad.
Yeah. That's exactly what I thought. Like, I'm not scared of these. Like, you know what I mean? But what I should have done was, when they came out of the restaurant, I should have then explained, look, boys, I wasn't trying to steal the bikes. I'm pissed out my nut. I've fallen.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then it
no one's going to then attack me and surround me.
Yeah.
But obviously, I handled the situation
Totally
wrong. Totally wrong.
But that comes down to being unexperienced, and obviously you're a lot older now, so the road mentality now is different, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. I've got no one to
So-
impress anymore, you know.
So your friend even said run, so it wasn't like he wanted to stick by and
So
do it.
when I spoke to him a week later about it, he was like, it was like a movie, mate. He said they were chasing you, and then all of a sudden you're chasing them, like 5 seconds
Benny
later.
Hill thing, like 1 minute you ran out and then they were coming back.
Yeah. But yeah, it's wrong. What I done was wrong. You know, I should have talked my way out of it. I hadn't done nothing wrong. Yeah, of course I do. Of course I do. An innocent person got slashed for no reason. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
But they obviously intimidated me. They should never have jumped up like they were gonna.
Yeah, like do something.
They jumped up like they were all gonna kill me. That is the main reason why.
So
I
where
ran.
they were was it a pub or a
No,
restaurant?
it was a Pizza Hut.
Okay. So they were.
When I fell into the
drunk.
bikes, I looked up and I just see loads of geezers stand up and come flying out. I was like, fuck this.
I'm out of it.
Yeah, especially my mate saying run.
Yeah.
Alright, so I listened to him when I should have just explained myself.
Yeah.
Whoa, boys, I'm
Yeah.
not trying to steal
Yeah,
your
it would have been
bikes.
a lot different if that had happened, didn't it?
Yeah, it would have been a completely different situation. But I didn't have the skills at that time to even articulate myself and talk to them like that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
It's what comes with age, innit?
Yeah, age and experiences in it, you know.
Maturity, yeah. And obviously, if you're living a certain lifestyle, then you're going to be that way all the time.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean? So it's
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
like your
ego.
circle of friends. So you said he had a court case for whatever reason.
I was hanging around with the wrong
happens,
wrong people, you know. If you surround yourself with positive people, it'll rub off on you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's
Surround
true.
yourself with negative people, that'll rub off on you as well.
And you know what? That is actually God honest the truth. Like since being doing this media lifestyle that I do and things like that, the amount of people that I've met and the amount of fun I've had and the amount of good, genuine people that I've come across and end up doing other stuff with, far outweighs all the negative shit that I used to do. See, the thing is what the public don't understand, like, they think, oh, these robbers, they go out, they just hit it, get the big money, live in the dream. Doesn't work like that. There's fucking loads of fails beforehand.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Do you know what I mean? So it's the same thing, like, it's not worth it. Go to school, man. Like, if I wish, I really wish
when I look back at my school days, I wish I would have, because now I love nothing but to watch documentaries and educate myself.
Yeah.
And I wish I could have been like back then, just absorbed.
I still
everyone.
feel that the schools are outdated as well, though.
Because you can say this because you actually work in a school
I work in a
environment.
school, and I just think I think they're very outdated. They haven't changed in 100 years, mate. Everyone's told to sit, listen, blah blah blah. That's where you're giving your directions, which I don't get me wrong. I don't think's wrong, right? You need to learn to sit and listen, but they're building you as an employee. They don't want you to be the business owner.
Yeah.
The
An
employer.
entrepreneur, do they?
They're not teaching you that. They're teaching you to sit, listen, do as you're told, blah blah blah. Right. So everyone from the young days have been put into that category. Yeah. And they're taught that. Then at the end of the year or years that go by, you then sat and tested on everything you've learned. Not everyone learns like that.
Yeah.
No, of
Not
course
everyone
not, of course
thinks
not,
like
of course
that.
not.
And so straight away you might have the people that are like academically smart that are just picking these things up and they're doing it, right? It's easy to them. But you've got somebody that's dyslexic, better doing things with their hands or whatever, and they can't sit in a classroom. I can't sit in a classroom environment. I don't like it. I don't like sitting in I could have been taught something in about 5 minutes. You could just say it to me and I'll go and do it. I don't need to sit and listen for a whole year of what you're trying to tell.
Teaching is to suck eggs, basically.
Yeah, and it become and you get disruptions in classes. You get so many things, and then you get told at the end of the year you need to do these exams. You fail on these exams. What do you then think? Oh, what am I going to do with my life?
Yeah.
What am I going to do? Blah blah blah. So they've failed you in the sense of they've kind of set you up to fail because they haven't actually. Because once you finish school, it was like, oh, what are you going to do now? I don't know. I might go to college.
Yeah, I still don't know what I really want to do. You know,
You-
now I think they have to stay in college till they're 18, don't they?
In school, yeah. It's
and-
meant to be, yeah. So they're meant to kind of do like a sixth form thing now and things like that. But again, you're then pigeonholing that person to learn a category of what they say business studies, yeah, for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever they want to do, yeah. So they say they do 2 years of business studies at sixth form. They then go, okay, so you got to go and get a job in that area. You might start that job for a year, and you might go,
Yeah, I actually don't like that.
I don't like this. I don't want to do.
Yeah.
And then you're going to think, oh, but I don't know anything else now.
Yeah.
So all
I've
of a
just wasted
sudden
all
you
that
kind
time
of
in that
right,
environment,
and it's the same with the universities. So the universities put you in debt, right? Because they put you in debt basically, unless you're from wealthy family. Originally, universities were set up for rich people, kids to go. Then they're basically put out there, silver spoon fed. You then kind of put in this bracket. 4 years you're going to go and learn this subject. Yeah, 4 years of your life. You think you had a prison sentence, 4 years. Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah, it is.
You're learning that. You come out and you do it, and then you go, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You're 22 now.
Yeah.
So you're kind of in your that part of your life where you're going, oh, what am I going to do? So then you just start trying to figure yourself out in life. So you are still trying to figure yourself out. But that's what the prison kind of seems like as well. It's like so it's all, you're kind of imprisoned at school, and you're kind of, if you went to prison, you're in prison. If you're out in the open world and you're learning these things in university, college, like you kind of just pigeonhole to that as well. They don't actually ever teach you to how to run a mortgage. Do all the things
Big
you need
things,
to, because they don't want you to own houses really. They haven't. They're not telling. Yeah, they're not telling you. They're not telling you how to own a business. That's what I was thinking. Like when I was speaking to you about the whole. Do you not think it'd be unfair if you went to prison and they gave you a qualification in something that somebody's had to go to university maybe, or somebody's come out of university, didn't like the job they were doing, they're having to now pay for a course. Again, it's all a scheme. It's all to make money. They all want to make their own money. Pay $5,000 to get an MVQ level, whatever, to do plumbing, whatever you wanted to do. But you've got it in prison from doing a crime where they'll bring, well, that's not a punishment. He's come out, he didn't even have to pay for that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand that side of things, definitely. I don't really know what to say about that. You have to do something though, you have to teach someone something inside.
So, you know what it is? I've got something to say about that. So, when I was younger, I always wanted to go to jail. I always wanted to be a bank robber. Yeah, stupid, dumbest fucking plan I ever had in my head, yeah? But I never got nothing in the care system. So I thought of needed to go to jail to get some sort of something to help me through life. And
really?
Yeah, because obviously when I was in care, I had nothing. I come out, every qualification I've got to this very day is from prison. Do you know what I mean? Obviously I don't need them qualifications now, I do other things. However, I was in a place in my life where the only options I thought I had were jail. Which is fucking bonkers when you see it, because the qualifications you do get in jail are shite. So it's a whole pointless exercise, completely pointless. Do you know what I mean? So, but then again, that's having to, people don't have much. Do you know what I mean? If someone doesn't know much, I was quite stupid when I was younger, hence I fucking went out and committed a load of crime.
And got caught.
Yeah, and got caught. If you actually look at it like that, it's kind of truth. Think about it. Obviously, I made a lot of fucking money, yeah, but what did I do with that money? I didn't go get a mortgage.
No.
I went down to Egg Club. You know about that.
King's Cross or Bagley.
You think I was the man. Where's the mindset there?
Yeah.
This Brez running around doing a whole kind of mad shit, yeah, gets stacks of dough, goes to a nightclub.
Spunks it in there.
Throws it up the wall.
Yeah. See, if you were taught in school, or you were taught in the social care system and all that kind of things, if you were taught how to do all these basic things, do you not think that the environment of people around you would be a bit different?
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. Because this is why I believe it should be taught at a young age. You know?
Because if you're
teach people before they make the mistakes.
Because if you're a parent now, but you were never taught that, your parent's not going to teach you that.
See, I teach my kids everything, mate. My sons, my daughters, they know why I committed crime. They know why I went to prison, and I explained to them from a very young age, my life is completely different to yours. Like, you will not struggle in the way that I did.
Because you don't want them to experience that.
But that comes with maturity and having kids and wanting the best for your family.
But that doesn't always mean they're not going to go and do something like yourself.
But you know what it does? It does mean this, yeah. If my sons or daughters become in any situation, the first person they'll phone is dad.
Talk to you first,
get them out of it. If I have to go and dig a hole, that's getting dug. Yeah, let's not get it twisted for my kids. Everything's on the tables, but I'm going to educate my kids enough so they never have to make them mistakes. And if they do get in that situation, they're going to phone mum, they're going to phone dad. Do you know what I mean? Before they make stupid situations. Like now my sons can fight. My daughter, she can beat up my sons, mate. Yeah, my son and they're tough kids, innit? But they're only tough kids because we've educated them and they know the difference between right and wrong. They all love animals. They don't hurt people. And if they get in a situation that requires them to either be physical, they can handle themselves. And my daughter's the same. All my kids are exactly the same, do you know what I mean? So it goes down to parenting is another thing.
Yeah, it does.
A major big thing is parenting and education, man. Educate your kids. If you educate your, like alcohol, if anyone sat me down and told me, Auntie, mate, yeah, the amount of shit you're going to get into just by drinking that shit there, yeah, I would never have drunk that. Like, if someone sat me down and told me... It'd be a
Class A drug if it was invented.
That's what I was going to say. Think about it.
Just look at this.
Legalise it.
Just look at this on a whole scale, yeah? How much money did the government make from alcohol?
That's why they won't ban it, and tobacco.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
They're both Class A drugs.
Let's look at this real now, yeah? Cannabis, yeah? How many people die of cannabis a year?
No one's ever.
I don't think anyone's actually
People
died.
always say
nowadays.
Bob Marley died of cancer, not cancer.
Yeah.
Now, circumstances around that, all right, drug deals going wrong, people get killed. However, yeah, alcohol. Look how much shit, badness happens with alcohol.
Yeah. A good story never starts on sober.
Well, look at it. Yeah, you've got drink driving. How many people die a year from drink driving? Fucking
Thousands.
loads. Yeah. Then you've got domestic violence. You've got fights in the pub. Charlie, we know this. You've cut a few people whilst being inebriated. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Look at all of the bad stuff. And let's not think about crime. Let's look at the hospital reports now. So you've got liver cirrhosis.
Yeah, how much is costing the NHS?
Yeah. So if you look at it in totality, yeah, from the government, how much money is it costing? Now, every business, you need to spend money to make money.
Of course.
Yeah? Think of it like that. The whole system is a business.
It is a business.
Yeah. Alcohol pays for a lot of things. They generate a lot of money from it, but a lot of shit goes down with alcohol. Look at these Islamic countries. You can't drink alcohol in some of them. Why do you think that is?
Because it's going to cause crimes.
Because it's a bad thing. Yeah. If you look at, I forgot my trailer thought then. So you look at that I can't even go into that because it will end up being struck off. But there's more negativity come from alcohol than positivity.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And a lot of that's come down to education because people get taught addiction. If you drink alcohol for a week straight, your body's going to be dependent on it. It's the same as heroin.
Yeah.
So
They're the only two drugs you really can be physically addicted to.
Exactly.
Alcohol and heroin.
Exactly. Do you
People
know what I mean?
think that you smoke crack, you're addicted. You can't get addicted to cocaine.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's
a
all
mental
up in your
thing.
mind.
But mental addiction
It's
can
as
be
bad as
worse than physical, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
right.
it all boils down to education. Do you know what I mean? Educating the youth of today, you'll get a better generation.
Definitely.
I don't know, I look here and I worry for a lot of them right now.
I worry for the future.
I do worry for them.
Especially kids growing up in London. You know, I'm worried about how
It's crazy.
my kids are going to behave. You know?
Yeah. I do. I worry about the future, but you know what? All you can do is educate them to the
Yeah,
best of your
give them the
ability.
tools and the skills to kind of not get themselves into them situations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now I guarantee you, people that sit down and listen to your life, Charlie, because no doubt you'll be on another podcast soon and stuff like that. Yeah. People will see your story and they will take bits from it. Do you know what I mean? I get phone calls and messages on social medias quite often about how did I get through this? What would I do for this situation? I had kids contacting me from children's homes, sending me proof that he was being abused by his care worker. Got straight onto the phone to the social services. I got him moved within 24 hours. The kid was in another home. Good. Do you know what I mean? So it's going to happen for you.
Yeah. I'd love to be able to give people advice like that, you know, because I'm never going to give someone negative advice.
It will come. It will come.
Do you know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
So would
I'm
you
never going to
say
say someone to pick up a knife and go and stab them because it's not the right thing to do.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
So would you say your biggest contributor was carrying the knife or the alcohol? To look at it, what would you say? Would you say?
I think it's a bit of both. Obviously, I think the alcohol was the biggest contributor of it. You know, it really was.
Because
you know, it's like your inhibitions go out the window. You don't care.
Yeah.
You've had a drink, your balls go about that big. You fight anyone.
Jaws going off everywhere, man. Swinging it out. Think around.
Fight anyone.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I've not been really serious because I'm quite leery when I've had a drink as well. Do you know what I mean? You can imagine. Isn't it?
That's why I don't drink much.
I'd stay off it, mate. Stay off the juice. You know?
Yeah. So health-wise now, what's going on in your? If you like, obviously.
I'm pretty healthy. I'm pretty healthy. Obviously, I have Crohn's and things like that. But
when was that detected?
That was detected about 6-7 years ago now. But I believe it was because of a prison diet, eating processed food.
That's what I was going to ask you. I was going to say, when you were talking about the shit food you were given, everyone thinks.
Well, when I certain jails, I didn't even eat their food. I would just cook my own stuff.
Yeah, Swellside, I was the same.
You know? Yeah, with Swellside, you've got.
What kind of stuff can you cook?
Everything.
Mackerel curry,
Everything
tuna curry.
Everything curry.
Bit of salad.
Just everything's just seasoned. Yeah, you can do a lot of stuff.
All-purpose seasoning goes on everything, mate.
Banoffee pies.
Ton load in there, man.
Banoffee pie and that you can make. You have to boil up the condensed milk for a while, though, didn't you?
Wait, do you know what?
You said earlier about doing being a professional and cooking in a kettle.
Yeah.
Literally. What can you cook in a kettle?
So we used to get, you know the steak things you used to get in there, in the tins. You wash all the gravy off that. That.
Oh, like a steak and kidney pie type.
Yeah, but it's not proper steak. Like it's
imaginary. It's imaginary. It's not really real. Like
but yeah,
fits in a tin.
You get sick of cooking the same stuff in there.
Yeah.
So that's where you can mix up the seasonings a little bit.
So what would you do? How would you make a meal in a kettle?
Right, so firstly you drain the oil out of the fish and then shallow fry onions and garlic, just soften it all up. Then you'd season it, cook the seasoning out, maybe add ketchup or barbecue sauce or whatever. Yeah. Make a sauce and then you throw the tuna in to kind of heat up in it.
Okay.
It comes, believe it or not, it comes out
banging, mate. Like, there's so many ways to cook in prison as well, yeah. So when I was in Blunston back in the day before they shut it down, yeah, and I was like, funny enough, I was on Sean Atwood's channel, done a podcast on Sean Atwood's, and one of the viewers, because I was talking about the ghosts and shit that was in there, and one of the viewers done a thing, and it's actually documented that there is fucking ghosts in that prison, mate. But anyway, I'll get on to what I was saying. So with the food stuff, yeah, what we used to do, because there's some kettles, some cells, sorry, don't have no toilets, so you'd have no toilets, no sink, yeah. So
cold.
Yeah, the Blunston was
Blunston,
exactly the same.
Blunston.
You know what I mean? So
I think Long Larton's like that as well.
So what we do, yeah, what I did, is I used to get a big bucket, yeah. I'd have a bucket, I'd fill it up with water, and then I'd have my stereo lead would come out. You know about this?
Yeah.
My stereo lead would be coming out, so I'd have it plugged in into the mains, and then the stereo lead would go into the bucket of water. Yeah, but what you do, you'd have a piece of wire. You know, stereos have got
wires.
So you'd have a bit of wire coming out, and this is an electrician course, trust me. Yeah, so you'd have a bit of wire coming out, and then you have your brass prongs for your and I used to do the hooch like this as well.
Yeah, to steal it.
To steal it, innit? And you'd put that in your water, and it'll boil it.
Okay.
So because the electric in it, it will boil it. You've got one element and
the current's running through it. Boil it up.
It boils it up. You put your finger in there, you're going to get the
fucking
biggest bang.
Yeah.
This is God, isn't it? So what we do, we get another tub.
Yeah.
And I would put all my food. So I would get my chicken and stuff like that throughout the day, or stuff that I didn't want to eat, because I weren't hungry. I put it in my other tub. I would then tie that tub up, and I would put my seasoning in it, bit of water in it, all my potatoes and stuff like that, whatever meat I'm putting in it. Seal the tub up, put that in the bucket, and that would just boil. Okay. I'd seal up the tub,
steam it,
cook it, like, and you'd cook some bloody good meals like that. Considering that the food in there was terrible.
Really, yeah.
No, but a stinger in it at the bottom of the kettle to like.
Yeah, man. And the kettle one's different because obviously you've got to have the element that's flat, and then you can cook whatever you want.
You can boil dumplings. You can do fried dumplings.
Fried dumplings, a lot, mate. But when you're in jail, you only have time.
So you learn all this off of other inmates, obviously, as well.
Yeah.
So it's quite you get clever people in there that know.
Do you know what? It's mad, yeah. So you learn a lot of different types of things. To charging your mobile phones, like they don't give you phone chargers.
Battery packs.
I used to do it through TV, mate. Yeah, I would go.
You know how to wire the
wire up the telly.
Yeah.
So I'd get a fucking.
Actually, I remember you actually could do that,
mate. I had a wire. It was a 12-foot wire, bro.
loads of burn holes in the back.
If you'd seen this, you would have thought, what the fuck is going on in here, man? Yeah, I had my TV there. Because I only had electric supply down that side of the room, innit,
Okay.
But my bed was up here.
Aww.
And when I'm in my bed, I want my phone, innit, So I had cables running all the way around the room, mate, and come up the side of my bed.
You like charge phones with, remember the battery packs where you get the LR20s?
Yeah.
Sell them all together, you've got plus or minus, bang straight onto the battery.
Straight onto our blue phones like that.
And then you'd have a landline, didn't it?
Yeah,
all attached to it.
Always attached.
Wow.
Oh, mental. You learn things like that. My mate, we went round my mate's house one time and he didn't have a charger, and my mate made a battery pack and blew his phone.
You just paid $250 for that. You're like, what have I done?
People can make extension leads as well. Have you seen that? Like homemade extension leads.
I used to send them. This is no word of it. I was in the mount, and I've done the multi-skills in there, and obviously, you know yourself, Charlie, people stop visiting you, people stop sending you money.
You have to,
so you have to survive. Do you know what I mean? So what I used to do, I used to make extension leads, bruv, and there's no kidding you. I'd get a normal plug socket, like whatever the one is.
It wouldn't pass a pack test.
Definitely not. Mate, this kid got nicked because I gave him a delivery of like 10 of them. I had loads of orders for the wing because everybody wanted them.
Because you've only got like 2 plug sockets in the hotel.
So you have to get. So think about it. You just got to give them what they need, innit? So things like phones, hooch, plug sockets. It's all a commodity that you need in jail, especially it generates.
So when
money.
someone pays you, because obviously I'm presuming you don't have cash, do you?
No,
Decash you do, but
So how do they pay you?
Or food?
Yeah, so you can either do like a bank transfer or. So the main things in prison is like vapes and fish.
Yeah, currency.
So that is the currency in prison. So if you've got them, you can buy anything off anyone. Do you know what I mean?
What's the price of tobacco go for in jail now?
I think it's like fucking £600 for a 50 grammer, isn't it? Something
Yeah.
stupid like that.
So it's 50, say 30 quid for a package of tobacco out here, and it's 600 quid inside.
What people do is they sell it in apes, and they'll make like 12 apes out of a fucking 30 grammer.
Wow.
And just, £100 an ape.
Wow.
Mad money, isn't it?
It's crazy money. Crazy money. Crazy.
What would you say the most nuttiest thing you've ever seen in jail, Charlie? The most maddest, because I know the podcast moving on now, so we've got to wrap up all the little things. What would you say
maddest thing?
the craziest thing you've ever seen in jail, either?
So I see a geezer in Young Offenders try to escape me, and he come out with about 30 tracksuits on and got caught up in the razor wire, and the officers all laughing at him.
Bare tracksuits,
Yeah,
because
mad. I was
the
just like,
bits.
what is this doing? Like,
What's the most violent thing you've seen in jail?
violent. I've seen a couple of people. Well, I haven't seen a couple of people murdered, but I've been in prisons where people have been murdered.
Yeah.
Because you don't really hear about that.
Nah.
But it does happen a lot inside.
Yeah, it does.
Do you know what I mean? It's happening more often now.
Well, we know someone. Fraser died in jail, didn't he?
Yeah,
little Fraser got
yeah.
killed in. I think
Someone in Scrubs though got killed not long. I was there then on the way to Jumma.
Yeah, because all my lads were in there with you boys then.
Someone got killed with a zombie knife in Wormwood Scrubs, and
So,
they're thrown off of the thing onto the netting.
Wow.
No, that's Pentonville.
Was that Pentonville?
Yeah, because you know why? I got out 3 months before that, and I got
How are
stabbed
they
to
getting
bits in
zombie
there.
knives?
Because do you know what it is in the Ville, yeah, it's so close to the wall, isn't it? Like, and it's,
I've actually thrown things into there. Yeah, it's literally on the Holloway Road, Caledonian Road.
Right, on Caledonian Road.
Yeah.
But now you've got drones, and you've got bent screws. Bear in mind,
gonna
think of it
say-
like this, yeah, the screws are only on pennies, and there's a lot of rich men in jail. You know what I mean? So if I'm offering you a certain amount of money,
To bring a knife in.
you're gonna. I personally would never bring a knife into a jail, but I would have brought fucking untold phones and all that shit. And if I was a screw, because I'm making 1,200, 1,500, a couple of grand per parcel every day I go to work, I'm making $1 grand a piece on top of my freaking wages. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, mad.
Yeah, I didn't think of it like that, but yeah, you're right.
It's a commodity.
Right,
It's the way I see it. Yeah, it's like
Even
if
like
I
when
was
you
a
see when you
screw,
read
I'd
like
be
the
a bench
Inside
screw.
Times and that now, the Converse and that, the prison newspapers,
They're all getting
it's
caught.
all about just like
Yeah.
corrupt officers.
Yeah, relationships.
Getting pregnant by inmates and all that. I never had that luck, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see some bird done. I'm not going clipping online or something. She was sleeping with one of the guys, and then she got pregnant to him. And she,
Happens regularly, man. Happens regularly.
Mad.
Look, the thing is, you got to understand, we're all human, innit?
Oh, of course, Imagine you're locked up for your time. You want to bang it, don't you?
Like, I'll smash anything, bro. It's a bit like.
You had a cellmate.
It's like wearing beer goggles all the time. Like a woman officer will actually be genuinely a nice person, and you'll like that about her.
Yeah. Yeah, because
she might be writ off, but you'd be like, right, smash
she's
that.
lovely.
I'll smash that, you know what I mean?
Gets
It's a
to
good
the
life.
It gets to you get sexually frustrated.
Yeah, of course.
Of course you do.
I mean,
of course.
14 years away, fuck anything, wouldn't you?
Hey, I know what all the amount of things he's been sending. I know he would.
The black hole of death.
Mate, you should have seen that, James. You would have cracked that, man.
Oh shit! Yeah.
She might be watching.
Oh yeah, she might good. But yeah, so we'll wrap it up with like what you've learned from your experience inside prison, and where you're going now with your life. So
it wasn't worth it. Definitely wasn't worth it. I regret all being that idiot. You know, I thought I was a bad man, and that's where it got me. And I totally regret it all. It wasn't worth it. The trauma that I put my family through has affected me as well. You know, but yeah, up and onwards now. I'm out. I'm never looking to go back. I'm officially retired.
Brilliant.
You know, looking for work at the moment. You know, that's what I want, a nice monthly wage. I mean, where I'm on the books, probation aren't going to be on to me. And I actually want like real life experiences now. I want to get a car, I want to go on holiday.
Yeah, because
You
you
know,
can't
things
actually go
that-
on holiday for another 3 years, can you?
No,
Charlie?
not I can apply for it. Do you know what I mean? But I just want proper experience, like real life experiences that everyone takes for granted.
Yeah.
I want to have a driving license.
Yeah.
You know, they're the things that I missed out
They're
on.
massive things.
so what you're going
yeah.
on nearly 40? Did you say you are?
I'm going to be 40 on the 16th of June.
Wow.
Wow,
So that's
just
you
before me.
kind of.
You are kid.
How old are you going to be?
I'm going to be 40 in July. Imagine that, yeah.
Respect your elders.
Yeah. Cheers, Charlie. I respect you massively.
Mine's on the 16th. My son's third birthday is going to be on the 19th. So my birthday's on Father's Day this year as well. So
wow,
wicked.
Yeah,
So onwards, upwards, looking
Yeah,
to
man.
just. It's mad. You're starting your life again at
starting
at 40. Yeah. They say life starts at 40, don't they?
They do, you know. They actually do.
So
They
hopefully,
do.
hopefully, you know, I can continue doing the good things that I'm doing and just be happy. That's all I want is
That's
happiness.
it. Be happy, innit?
Meet a nice girl, you know, just
Settle down.
settle down and chill out. Yeah.
Not too fast though, Charlie.
No, I know. See, that's what happened last time. I within 6 months of being out, my girlfriend was pregnant,
Yeah.
and it all happened.
Happened to me, man. Happened to me.
way
bro.
too fast. It's like super glue, isn't it? You know
It
what I mean?
That's the thing. You know what? That's the thing, though. You know, like what people don't understand here. You go to jail now. However long you get, it's going to fuck up your life, mate. Because Charlie's done 14 years. He's coming back and he's having to do it all again. Do you know what I mean? The relationships, having babies, doing all that cool stuff. You just lose the years.
Yeah, it's fucked, man. I should have learned all this like
In the 20s.
relationship, like mistakes
Teens.
and that. I should have been learning all that as a kid.
Yeah,
But it was taken away from me, and it's,
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
worth it. It's not worth it. It really isn't
Mm.
worth it, you know.
Yeah. Do you feel that it was taken away from you from the sentence, the IPP? Do you
Yeah,
reckon it was
definitely.
that-
I was
that-
given no hope.
Yeah. Takes your
No,
hope away,
yeah,
doesn't it?
yeah. As I said, I ended up giving up.
Do you think though, if you'd done your 4.5 years, right? Because your friend said that you'd been doing cartwheels. Do you think if you did get out earlier, you could have potentially have gone back and done something stupid again anyway?
Yeah, if I wouldn't have got the IPP sentence, I would have definitely got out, not learned a thing, and probably gone on to have done something more serious. You know,
Wow.
that's the
So-
route. That's the route I was going down at the time.
It's
you
a
know,
big statement,
so
that though, isn't it, brother?
So it has kind of saved my life a little bit, you know. But I hate the fact that I've done that long.
Yeah.
But it's probably it probably has. I'll probably be dead now.
You've got to take it. You've got whatever circumstances, especially a bad one like that. You've got to take the positives out
You
of
have
it.
to.
innit?
Yeah,
Always,
you have to.
Do you know what I mean? The way I see it is, you're here now,
Yeah.
and what you've learned through your journey.
So
Even though it's
hopefully I've got the rest
of
of my life ahead of me now.
Well, you have. All it is, get out. Get this this license period out the way, and then your life is in your hands.
But I'm definitely on the right track, so I'm definitely in the right frame of mind. You know.
100%. And the thing is, Charlie, people will listen to you, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, and they will, especially when you start doing the talks in the colleges and getting into the schools.
Yeah.
Education is the key, and
Yeah,
that's
definitely,
what
definitely,
all our freaking kids need. It's
If you
just
think you're a
education.
bad man, it's only going to end up one way.
Well,
know?
yeah.
You're either going to be dead or in
Scars,
prison for life.
Pain.
You know?
Do you know what Sean Atwood? It's another friend of mine. On a lot of his podcasts, it's very, very similar, mate. All of us feel so much fucking pain from the mistakes we've made, and every podcast that I've watched, we've all got massive similarities. We've all lost. None of us have. We didn't go to prison and come out of there fucking bawling and happy. We've all lost family. We've all lost money. We've all lost years of our life. Let's
It's
try and
not worth
encourage
it.
the other
It's
lot
not
so they
worth
don't
it.
go through that.
Yeah, it's not worth it. That's the main thing. It is not worth it.
Because I do look at it and I do feel that it has rehabilitated you in a weird sense of way.
Yeah, but that's only because I've rehabilitated myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, the prison service has done nothing to help me with that.
But you
know?
even said that with the IPP, that sentence alone.
I think it saved my life. You know, it did. It kind of saved my
Probably
life.
potentially
It should
someone
that
else's.
should never have happened. You know?
Yeah, or potentially someone else's.
Someone
I get
else's
that,
life,
man.
yeah.
I get that.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. I was out of control. You
So-
know.
But they picked up on that
What's that?
because obviously you have to go in front of a parole to try and get out.
They kind of saw that I was maturer now, you know, and I wasn't that, because I used to refuse to go on parole.
Well, your
boards.
dossier must be like that
Oh
thick.
yeah, my dossier is ridiculous.
Do you know what I mean?
It's all negative stuff,
Yeah.
the dossier.
Yeah,
But
they
there's never
never speak
anything
the truth.
positive.
Yeah, it's true.
You
They
know, I've
only
done a
go-
lot of positive things in prison, you know, like
Yeah.
I looked after a lifer who was terminally ill and he died on me.
Wow.
But didn't know officer, didn't even mention it in my parole board.
Yeah. So
You know, like, and that has effects on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you anyway, mate.
Ah,
It's
cool,
been
man.
good.
It's been good,
Thank
man.
you.
Thank you
It's
for
been
coming
good.
on, Charlie, mate. An absolute
It's been good,
legend.
man.
Yeah, it's
Love you
good.
guys, man.
Yeah,
Do you want to say
nice
anything
much.
first?
I don't know if there's anything we can say.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us. This is a Cogent channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, share the life out of it. Obviously, follow Charlie on all his social medias. What are your social medias?
So Charlie Southgate is on Facebook.
Lovely.
And my Instagram name is Chiswick's Most Violentness.
Chiswick's Most Violentness.
Right, so follow Charlie.
Yeah.
Make sure you like, subscribe to his channels. Obviously, we've got a list of very cool contenders coming up and people, personalities that you're going to see.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you who they are because it's a surprise. I hope you've enjoyed Charlie today.
Yeah.
And we'll see you soon, guys. Take care. Have a lovely
Cheers,
day.
guys.